Hey, woodcutters, TopSaw here. Today I'm going to talk sanding, all types of sanding. Sanding by hand, sanding with all of the different handheld types of sanders, and sanding with all the different stationary types of sanders. We're going to talk about grits, the different kinds of sandpaper, and mostly the most important issue there is on how to get all your projects coming out perfectly smooth by sanding properly. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. If you want your projects to come out like this beautiful cutting board right here that a student made with that really nice finish on it, nice shine on it, really before you even start sanding, let's just talk a little bit about wood. So this is a piece of cedar that we milled. You can see the end grain there and then the length of the grain here. The way to think about wood, it is built, it grows like a bundle of straws like this. So if you think of wood as a bundle of straws growing up, these are tubes going up the tree, pushing up the xylem, photosynthesis, and the phloem come back down. These bunch of straws are the fibers of the wood, and this is actually what you're sanding. So what you're trying to do with sandpaper is take those little grits of sand and put them in between the fibers right here. So the grit of the sandpaper tells you the size of the little piece of sand, and that'll tell you whether it's going to fit in here or not. Okay, to start with, on the back of every piece of sandpaper is a number, and that tells you the grit. So this is 120, and that's really a good starting grit for woodworking. That 120, I think, says within 1 square inch of sandpaper there are 120 pieces of sand. So the lower the number, the less number of pieces of sand there are in a square inch, the larger the size of the sand. So from a 120 grit you could go to a 150 grit. That's a little bit finer, a few more pieces of sand per square inch, so they're a little bit finer. From 150, here's a 180 grit, starting to get a little finer yet. Here's a 220 grit, even finer yet. So you could think at a 220 grit in 1 square inch here, you have 220 pieces of sand in that square inch. So you could imagine they have to get smaller and smaller. Usually in woodworking, you stop at about 220. You can go up to like a 320 grit here. This is pretty fine. That's about as fine as you do in woodworking. When you're sanding with sandpaper, the first thing you usually do is you fold it in half and tear it, and fold that in half and tear it as well. So you usually tear it into 4 sheets, and then you end with a sheet like this. If you're sanding by hand, you just want to go with the grain pretty smoothly, back and forth. If you have a hard time getting in areas by hand, you could use what's called a sanding sponge, and this actually works really well to get around the edges. You start at the coarsest grit, like at 150, and then you move up to the next grit, like a 180, and then you finish on a 220. So you always have to do every step. You can't really start from a really coarse grit like 120 and jump right to a 220, because what you're doing when you're sanding is you're taking out the previous marks from the previous sandpaper. So that's an overview of sandpaper. Again, the important part is you step up, you always sand with the grain, and you think of the board as this bundle of straws, and you're putting the sand in between all of those grooves of the straws. So now let's talk a little bit about the different types of handheld sanders. The coarsest one is a belt sander. This one takes off the most amount of material. So you could change the coarseness of the sander by changing the sandpaper. The way that works is you just release it with the lever usually on the side. These drums come in, you put on the new sandpaper. There's an arrow on the inside of the sandpaper, and that arrow right there shows you direction of travel. So if the arrow is pointing that way, it will go on the sander like this, so it travels that way. After you have the new sandpaper on there, this is a tracking device, and it changes this angle a little bit to make sure the sandpaper stays on there. Absolutely, positively, always wear safety glasses when you're sanding, not for the dust as much as something breaking, like these sandpapers breaking and slapping you in the face. If this thing isn't tracking well, it will easily run into the edge here and start to cut the sandpaper and disintegrate it. And then from here, usually the next coarsest is a random orbital sander like this. It's called random orbital because as it spins, it's not quite a circular pattern. There's a randomness into it, and that really takes out your swirly sanding marks. So this is a random orbital sander. This is a 5-inch disc. They come in 6-inch discs as well. And then they're Velcro pads. And I'll keep this pad and talk about this pad in a little bit, why there's all that mess on there. From the orbital sander, the next finest sander is a handheld finish sander. This is called a quarter sheet sander because it's a quarter sheet of that sandpaper I showed you earlier. So if you tear it into quarters, you'll end up with a quarter sheet like this. And these things just kind of undo and you put your new sandpaper on here. So this is a finish sander and it kind of moves in like a square pattern like this. Ideally, kind of putting the grit in between the grain of the wood. And this is in a completely different category of fine woodworking. Goes to the Festool sanders. This is the Festool Rotex sander. This is a beautiful tool. It has a hooked up vac. It is completely dust free. It works incredibly well. It's a random orbital sander and it has an ability to lock it into place. And then this right here is another Festool orbital sander. These are in a new category altogether. They're super expensive, but they work beautifully well. So if you're really getting into woodworking and you're willing to spend the money, these Festool sanders really change woodworking substantially. They have speeds attached to them. I've done videos on these Festools. All right, let me talk about one of the biggest ideas in sanding that a lot of people miss when they start out, especially in the high school wood shop here. So the biggest issue in sanding, the biggest issue in a ton of machinery, in your car is heat dissipation. So in your car, how a car works is it generates a tremendous amount of heat and you cycle water or coolant through that engine block. It picks up that heat and transfers that heat to the water and the water goes out to the radiator and the wind cools that water off. Well, it's the exact same thing in sanding. The biggest issue in sanding is heat transfer. You transfer the heat to the dust that you're sanding, and then that dust dissipates, and as that dust leaves, it takes the heat with it. So if you're not taking your dust away, you're creating a tremendous amount of heat, and that's where you get your burns and your sandpaper. You get the burns and your wood and your part, and you're sanding really inefficiently. So the most important part about sanding is actually getting the dust out. Actually, the most important part about sanding is safety. Glasses on, fingers far from anything. You don't want to sand any part of your hands. After safety, the biggest part of sanding is removing the dust, so you remove the heat. With a handheld sander, there are a bunch of ways to do that. One is you keep it moving continuously, always with the grain. That way you get the heat out and the dust out. You keep everything really clean. You clean out all these dust bags. You make sure the holes in the sandpaper line up with the pad so the dust goes up through there. And amazingly, when you sand really gently. And when you sand really gently, you help the dust getting out from where you're sanding. If you're pushing down hard on your project, not only do you stop this thing from spinning freely, but you prevent the dust from getting out. So getting that dust away from your project, away from the sander, allows you to sand without generating a lot of heat, and that's how you sand well. So a couple tricks. Number one is work your way up through the grits. Number two is make sure you're getting all of the dust out of your project through some sort of vac system, sanding lightly. And then number three is use the right sander in the right application and step up through those sanders. Okay, so far we've talked about the material of wood, we've talked about sandpaper, we've talked about sanding by hand, and then handheld sanders, handheld power sanders. Now let's talk about stationary sanders. The most aggressive one is a disc sander. This is a 12-inch disc sander. It spins this way. It's really important to know which way it spins. There's an arrow on top to say it spins this way. And this sander, depending on the grit, could take off a ton of material or at the very least a lot of material. So this is the most aggressive stationary sander. It's traveling in a circular pattern, so this is really designed to remove a lot of wood, but because it travels in a circular pattern, it's going to put circular sanding marks. When you sand on a big disc sander like this, your material has to be flat down on the tabletop, and you want the grit going down against your material. So if you sand on this side over here, it'll lift it up and throw it. So you always sand having the grit going down on the material. You keep your fingers far and away. You absolutely have your glasses, safety glasses on, and if anything comes off of here, you don't want to be in the line of things getting winged off of here. You keep your wood moving the whole time so that the dust is getting removed. If you stop on here, this thing fills up with dust, and then there's no way for the dust to get out, and then that sawdust starts to burn the sandpaper and burn your part. Not only are you not sanding efficiently, you're ruining your sandpaper and your wood project. One really cool thing you can use on stationary sanders and handheld power tools is this rubber eraser right here, and this is designed to clean out your sandpaper. So when you turn this on and you run that over, it'll help clean out the dust. Again, my fingers are far away. It's flat down on the tabletop. And it might not take all the dust out, but it'll help get a lot of that dust out. Once this paper starts to get burned, you have to replace it. But this helps keep the dust out. Next is a 6-inch belt sander. Same thing, keep your fingers far and away, material down flat on the tabletop, no small pieces. This belt sander tracks, so these are the tracking knobs. If you're not careful, it'll track over and blow itself up. Always glasses on, keep your fingers away. This is pretty coarse as well, depending on the grit, but it's pretty aggressive, not as aggressive as a disc sander, but still pretty aggressive. Here's another wider belt sander for larger pieces. You could get the edges on here. You really want dust vac hookup on all these tools. Not only is it a lot better for your lungs, but it sands a lot better. And again, a big issue is getting the dust out. The next type of sander is a spindle sander. This is called the oscillating spindle sander. It oscillates because it goes up and down. That's the oscillating part, and spindle because it spins around. All the other sanders are for convex curves, like here, a convex curve, and a spindle sander like this is for concave curves. So anything that's concave, flat down on a tabletop, you could sand this way on the spindle sander. You could clean it the same way as the others. There are different diameter spindles, so you can put in a smaller diameter or a much larger one depending on the part you're sanding. Our next sander is a drum sander. This is the feed belt right here. You feed it in. This is this big drum right here. So that thing's spinning around as your part feeds in here. This is your height adjustment. It's really easy to burn these things up if you're not being careful. This is not a planer. It can't take off a tremendous amount of wood at a single pass. It really can only take off about a 64th on a single pass. This is a 1632 drum sander. They call it open-ended. It's only 16 inches wide, so you could fit a 16-inch board in there, and it's open-ended, so you could run a 32-inch board, half of it sticking out, flip it, and feed it through there. So I know there's a ton of information about the material itself, wood, about sanding, sanding by hand, sandpapers, handheld sanders, and stationary sanders. But if you want a good project, it really comes from good sanding. So safety always has to be first. Make sure you're not doing anything you don't know how to do. Be safe. If you like this video, hit like below. Really like to hear your comments, and subscribe to this channel. It's all things wood, from tree work to woodwork. Sand safely and sand well, and have fun doing it.